Welcome to the continuing series of videos from the Institute of Finance and Related Studies. My name is Moya Kihumba. Today, we'll look at Profitability Index method of evaluating investment projects. What is Profitability Index? Profitability Index is the ratio of the present value of cash inflows at the required rate of return to the initial cash outflow of the investment. What this means is that we compute the present values of all our cash flows, and to get the profitability index, we divide the present value of cash inflows over the initial cash investment. We could look at an illustration. We've been told that the initial cash outlay of a project is shillings 100,000, and it can generate cash inflows of shillings 40,000, shillings 30,000, shillings 50,000, and shillings 20,000 in year 1 through year 4. We are told to assume a discount rate of 10%, and we are required to compute the profitability index. Now, I've computed the PVs of all our cash flows. Now, the present value of cash inflows, or the sum of present values of cash inflows, are these values here from year 1 through year 4, which give us 112,381. And we divide this by 100,000, it shall give us a PI of 1.2. Now, how do you make a decision on whether to accept a project or not? Projects whose PI is greater than 1 are accepted. Those projects with PI less than 1 are rejected, while you may or may not accept if PI is equal to 1. Now, projects that have got positive NPV will always have PI greater than 1. And a PI or less than 1 will mean that the project NPV is negative. Now, if we look at our previous illustration, we found that our PI is 1.12, which is greater than 1. And this would mean this project would be accepted. What are some of the advantages of profitability index? The first one is that it recognizes time value of money. It recognizes time value of money by discounting the cash flows using an appropriate discounting rate. And in most cases, by recognizing time value of money, you also recognize risk, which is a very great aspect. The other advantage of profitability index is that it's consistent with the shareholders' value maximization or shareholders' wealth maximization principle. Shareholders' wealth is maximized by those projects whose NPV is the highest. And since projects whose PI is greater than 1 have positive NPV, if they've been accepted, they would increase the shareholders' wealth. It's also a relative measure of a project's profitability. Why do we say that? We say it is a relative measure of project profitability because we divide the present value of cash inflows or the present sum of present values of cash inflows over cash outflow. It has a problem of estimating the discounting rate, right? The discounting rate is usually the cost of capital, but how do you determine the discounting rate? That becomes a problem. So we end up at that point. Good evening.